Hello. Am I the only man here? Looks like it for the moment. Let's set the chat up. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Bernard.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. I have phoned the Campbell boy tonight
Ah,
to try and persuade him. Since it's the first time I've spoken to him since the lockdown, or even longer, really. Um, he was cooking and says he's allergic to computers. He's got a piece of tape over his camera. But I like to think I planted some ideas in his head, saying that John Hegley had dropped in a couple of times, and we had people from California and things. Are you good? Are you decorating, or is you're setting up your Zoom studio?
no, we had damp
Oh, you had damp.
up there,
Okay.
and came over to do some work with me at the weekend.
Did
And,
Did you see that I'd sent you the email addresses for the 6 winners?
fantastic.
Yeah.
At least that's the first part. It'd be interesting to see how many of them actually send me back bank information.
Yeah. Well,
Strangely enough,
some of them have won before, haven't they? Fiona and Caroline. Is it Caroline's with an SZ? What I all a Czechoslovakian name, I guess.
well, as said, why it's Shishkovsky, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem, no. I think it's got a C in it. I don't know how the C's work.
No, I haven't looked at anything other than work emails for about a week.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, there was a nice message from Delilah Black, who sort of said sort of congratulations and to everybody and things. So I think there's some goodwill about the competition still going, you know. And it is interesting that there were, as far as the public vote, this time there were only 2 votes. And you and Rob didn't vote. So it rather meant with the public votes that the 2 votes, the 2 people who were voted for became joint first, and everyone else became joint third. Which is going to flatten the curve, so to speak.
Did any of the thirds fail to admit that they weren't firsts, though?
Ah, well, did you see my announcement where I said they all won by a lot? We have our winners, and they all won by a lot. I decided.
I missed that. I skimmed it to see.
Yeah, no, that was the opening remark. I thought. I have seen some remarkable videos of people in the street saying, "Oh, we want to count the votes again where we lost, and we want to stop the votes where we're ahead." You know. I think that one of the guys finishes off by saying that the J in Trump is for genius. It's 7:30. I shall open my beer.
Not jingoistic then.
No. I am pleased to say that I haven't come across anyone in this country who's pro-Trump, you know, or sort of a devil's advocate for him or anything, you know.
Well, the Tories were considered to be pro-Trump.
Yeah. Well, I think the Brexit lot.
Yeah.
Tonight is my wedding anniversary.
Oh. And yet you're joining us.
I am. Yeah, no, we have an agreement. It's all right.
Well, it's not like you.
She's had 32 years of me, so it's a treat to be without me.
I remember. Didn't we have the? Wasn't the reception above the? What
You
was
danced, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Riggy.
Look who's here.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that you'd be here?
Well, it's a date.
It's a date. I'm glad we have this date.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I may get interrupted by my building manager. We had a windstorm and it blew the pilot light out on the heater behind me here.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I think these Zoom sessions are quite exciting with what interruptions people can get, you know. So.
Right, you can get into trouble. I've heard that there's naked people popping in. I've never seen it, but I heard tell.
Well, we didn't have naked people, but we got Zoom bombed because we thought Zoom bombing had gone out of fashion. So
I think so.
But within sort of 5 minutes of putting it up on our Facebook account, there were 5 rogue screens. There was two teenage, I'm saying, Middle Eastern, not Middle Eastern, sort of Asian sort of kids just looking down the lens. One screen showing a periodic table of elements, and another one a cartoon character of a muscle man dancing and jigging around. So you know, and the other one I
It's
think was
like a
blank.
generational thing. We're not able to figure stuff like that out because we're too old.
I think that's right. Yeah, but also that what do they? It's a bit like what are they hoping to see? What are they hoping to
I,
upset us? I don't know. You know.
I think they're hoping to upset us. That's as simple as it is. People used to do graffiti for that purpose, and then Banksy and his group made it art.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so I think it's a funny thing.
You're you are quite quiet, Riggy.
Okay, well, I was in one session and everybody was complaining about me being loud. You know what's a weird session? I don't know if you ever go to is the one at the musical traditions.
Oh no, I haven't been. No.
Yeah. Am I louder now?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just
Because
sing us a note. Sing.
la 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 la.
That's all right. I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
You can't keep your expectations too high, you know? How's Nick?
Busy. Thank you very much for your link. I haven't managed to
What was it
investigate
to?
it. Have you?
What was it to?
The technology for jamming, basically.
Oh, it was just something I wanted your expert opinion on because I didn't understand it. It was above my level of understanding.
Well, the government has just announced they're going to spend an awful lot more money on cyber warfare, so as we can sort of stop sort of nonsense going on and sort of invade other people's folk clubs.
Oh boy.
So all folk music will be English by the year 2030.
Great.
Because England will be a fortified, independent country on the British Isles with a time warp required to enter it.
Well, so we're in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or some nebulous and difficult to define period in the past when, in inverted commas, everything was better.
I think they'll be teaching Morris dancing at school. It'll be great.
Oh dear. Let's hope. If
I
that's,
think you know, almost as an agent provocateur, one ought to sort of propose these things. You know, sort of to latch on to the good times and things. Yeah.
yeah, true. Yes. Highlight the political agitators from the folk revival. Have you seen Mangrove?
No, no, no.
Steve McQueen film
Oh no, no.
for the BBC. Steve
Oh yeah.
was invited to make 6 films.
Yes. Yeah, no, yeah.
Mangrove is about the Mangrove Nine, who, after being unsuccessfully prosecuted for several things, several times, were eventually indicted for inciting a riot and tried at the Old Bailey.
Oh.
And one of them is one of the defendants is Darcus Howe, and the actor who plays Darcus Howe has him absolutely nailed, and he's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very strong cast. Letitia, what's she called? Oh, black actor who is in Black Panther, for instance. She plays the one of the leaders of the Black Panthers, ironically,
Yeah.
in the UK. with a very strong Caribbean accent, which is not her own.
Oh,
But she's also and her character in Dark as Hell choose to defend themselves, and so they're speaking from uh, at times from the dock, but at times they get escorted down to be able to speak from where the lawyers speak. And at one point, the Darkest How character is asking the policeman. He's said to the policeman, "So there were four of you in the van, and you all saw this, yeah? Yeah, we all saw this, and that's why it's written down in your notebooks as you all saw this. You didn't conspire to write this down together. You just that is what you all saw." And then he holds up a piece of card with like a letterbox cut out of it, and he says, "Can you confirm that this is the size of the slit, the observation slit in the van?"
that you all saw from.
Yes, it looks to be approximately the right size. Yeah. Okay, so this is 8 inches by 2.5 inches. And you all saw all this through this slit. Yes. Can you explain to the jury how you did that?
Excellent.
Yeah, it's very good. And no, the female character talks to the police doctor, and suddenly she's cross-examining the police doctor, and suddenly the who's an Asian chap, and you suddenly see the police doctor go, "Oh fuck, she knows what she's talking about. Oh fuck." So how long after the event did you examine these bite marks? 4 days. I'm not sure the jury heard you.
Yeah.
And you just said that you can't identify the bite marks as bite marks for more than 6 hours after they've been made. Yeah. So what you've written isn't true then. I object! I object! How else should I put it, Your Honour?
Well, we're working our way through the Queen's Gambit. Is the sort of
Oh, what's that?
well, it's on Netflix, and it's about a girl, a young girl who takes up chess, and she's very very good at it, and it has her going through various championships. Like, is
illegal.
that, huh?
Surely that's illegal.
Well, it's very clever in lots of ways. It's not. It's almost not quite like you think they're semaphoring things. You think, oh, they're going to do this, and they don't do that, and you think, oh, you're quite pleased almost, sort of. And let's say some of the villains aren't such villainy, and some of the heroes, sort of.
Yeah.
It works on quite a
Underused.
human level, I think. And yet she's so charged on, and it's got this drama that you obviously don't need to know much about chess, but you can see how she is sort of taking on the world and shocking the world because she's a teenage girl, and she's suddenly one of the champions of America, sort of at the age of 17, and she's learning Russian in order to play with the big boys. And then she has her first defeat. Well, I won't. It's very very nicely put together. Like she's got problems, sort of.
We've all got problems.
I know. Well, and I think there's even an element of that in it. So
Yeah.
you know. Paul and Helen coming in.
You never know.
Is that Paul who sings? And I think
I'm
Helen's his partner.
I'm just going to go and mute while I warm up my clarinet.
Paul and Helen to everyone. We are in webinar in the next room at the moment, but we will be with you soon. Oh, there's Roger coming in. Can you hear us, Roger?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
He's
Yeah.
got his own name.
Yes.
Usually,
And his own sound. I think he's got sound, vision, and a name.
Great. Yeah. I'm just got a Wendy has just emailed me to say, can she have the address for this? I don't know.
I sent it to her.
Do you know it? Do you know her email?
I don't
Yeah.
know Wendy's. No.
You
Well,
do.
no, I've fulfilled that task already. I sent her that link.
Okay. Well done. Well done. Thank you.
Okay, just for the record, it's well, maybe she wouldn't want. You want me to tell you?
No,
It's
I've got her email address. I just hadn't sent it.
Okay, well there you go.
You see,
I did.
I've got an Apple which I don't know how to use, or a MacBook, and this is why I have so much problems. And I don't know how to copy anything. And I haven't got a mouse, so I don't understand how you copy. So I use it for this, and I hope to use it for recording, and that's about it really. So I've got millions of capabilities, but I haven't got a clue what they are.
Well, I suspect it works the same way as a Mac. You just drag the mouse across things, or and click on the right click or left click, and
Yeah, there's no mouse on this though. You see,
there's no mouse. But is there a pad like a mouse?
there is. I think it's command click is the right click. But I'm trying to copy a piece of text, i.e. the link,
Yeah.
somewhere else. Now, I tried Control C and Control V, which I do on this one, which is next to me. I was just about to log on to my old Steam one and do it on that because I can do it on that.
Okay.
There you go. I've linked myself up to the mains, so I'm not Wi-Fiing anymore. I've linked the router to the mains and linked the computer to the mains through the Ethernet. So this should work better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on the Wi-Fi in the house. Yeah, but you sound better.
Are you recording me, or is it me recording?
No. I think Nick's recording
Oh,
everything.
right. Okay.
I think he's got the session set up. Hang on, I've got a message from Paul and Helen. We are in the webinar next room at the moment, but we'll be with you soon. Last time I did 1916 with Jim Radford, would normally sing at the Cenotaph on Remembrance Day. Little thinking that Jim would pass on the following. Oh God, we'll be pleased to do his Shores of Normandy tonight, unless anybody wants to do it. Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah.
What's happened now? I've lost
Paul, have you got chat up?
you. Yeah, sorry. I just lost you all. Yeah, so okay. Yeah.
Can you do
see
you
it,
see all the chat that's there? The first message is from me, and then Paul and Helen have got a message, which
No.
I'll send.
The only one I've got is that one, because I wasn't on at the point which it came, was I?
Okay. Well, all the first one says is "Hello world, recording in progress. Welcome."
Oh, hi.
Well, no, I just put something up there to set the to set the table up, so to
Yeah.
speak.
My glasses are a bit shiny. It's this screen, isn't it?
I phoned up David Campbell, trying to sort of tempt him into our session tonight, but he was cooking a meal earlier on, but and says he doesn't do internet.
Well, there you go.
And he's even got a sticker over his webcam. I don't know for what reason.
Well, he clearly doesn't want to use it, so I can understand that. I used to be like that a bit.
Well, but I hate to say it, since I actually got him vaguely interested in using a computer to watch the Trad to Mad, because I made him a judge,
Yeah.
and also was sending him emails so as to get him to communicate with me. I sort of forced him into it, and I sat him down at the computer and started showing him banjo players on YouTube, and he thought, "Cool, this is quite good," And like he's got 2 videos of his own up there.
Yeah, so he's got double standards. He's obviously cooking his dinner.
Well, he's cooking. No, but I think the thing is that I also planted the idea that I said that, oh, John Hegley's turned up a couple of times.
Yeah.
So
He's good.
what? What, John? No.
Yes,
No,
John.
no, yeah, of course, yeah, yeah. Well, John's a national
Funny.
institution.
He's funny.
You know that he's on the radio a lot.
No, I don't. I've
No,
found him
no,
on
no.
YouTube.
He's a national
He's on-
he's a national treasure on the poetry and alternative arts scene, and turns up on the radio every so often. And he's been a friend of the club since before he got that standard status, and has always liked the folk club. You see,
Yeah.
so.
Gets the odd gig here. Hello, Nick.
That's right. So we get him once a year, but he plays places like the Shaw Theatre and things as in the past, as you know, sort of.
Oops. I've just got to plug my guitar in. It might make a noise. I hope it doesn't. I've done it. Can I
Oh,
just
that's all
check
right.
it works, please?
Yeah, go on. Have a strum. That sounds all right. That's good. Sing something at the same time.
Sorry?
Sing something at the same time so as we can see the balance work.
Give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That's the story, that's the glory of love.
Wow, he's like a professional.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah, yeah. It's the best you've sounded.
Yeah, well, that's what it's supposed to be, isn't it? I'm trying. It's just working on the playing now.
Do you know if Terry's coming along?
He's not. I do know he's not coming.
Okay.
He spends his whole week everywhere. The States, Spalding. It's the West Country tonight, I think. Everywhere.
Oh, he's cruising all the folk clubs, is he?
Yeah. He got a gig in Florida, I think I told you, but he obviously couldn't do it.
Oh right.
A house party in Florida.
Oh right. Okay.
But he's got loads of promises. I think this will have done him a world of good. If you ever get out of it, he'll go back to being full time again.
Yeah.
And he might take me with him.
Oh, right. Well, in effect, you could almost do a house party from a big screen, couldn't you? Nowadays, people have got big TVs.
Yes.
And you just sort of have him in the corner, and in fact, he can mute everybody else, so he can be just playing in the background, and it's not
like
maybe
normal.
that much fun for him, but you might get paid and get an audience.
Nobody listening, just as normal.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid that's the problem, isn't it? Hello, Maggie and Pete. Can we hear you? No, we can't hear you. No. Hello.
Yep.
Hello, Paul. Yep.
And Helen.
Are you still digesting, Paul? I think he looks like he's still swallowing.
Helen is there behind me, in the corner of the room.
Right. Are you all right?
Way loud. You're way loud.
I think we're trying to get Maggie and Pete any sound from there. I can't hear them at all.
It's perfect to me.
Do you want to drop out and come back in or something? No? I was quite interested to see that Nick's got the same radiator in his room as we have in ours. It's, you know, in the great sort of scheme of things, you know, so one crosses the divide.
Oh, I've got one, but it doesn't appear to be on.
Okay, Sheila Miller is coming in. Hello, Sheila. Can't hear you.
She obviously can't hear you either.
Paul, you're all right sound wise. You can hear us, can't you? And we've heard you talk. Okay. Maybe no one can. Maybe I'm on mute.
I can hear you. No, you're not.
Okay.
coming through
Oh,
loud
we can
and
hear
clear.
you. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I phoned up David tonight, Sheila,
All right.
and he said he and his computer were not best friends, and he's got a piece of tape over the
Over
camera.
the camera, yes, he told me that a while ago.
Yeah. I tried to plant the idea, and I'll phone him up for a chat tomorrow. Like he was cooking his dinner and things. So I made the suggestion that various people sort of turned up. That, you know, it might be more fun than he thought.
Yes.
On the other hand,
Maggie and Pete, are you there? You're still quiet.
Maggie is mouthing, but I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
They're not unmuted, but they're silent. That's very strange.
Is that Wendy coming in?
It is.
Wendy's chiming in. Hello, Wendy.
Hi there. How are you all?
Ooh,
We're good. We're trying to get Pete and Maggie to have sound at the moment.
Oh.
oh dear.
no.
Ah, that sounded hopeful.
It worked earlier today.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it
yes,
Where
you're
are you
there.
now?
You're there. You're back.
turned it upside down and stirred it a bit. Phew.
Oh, you only got.
I think we're heading for 8 o'clock. Oh,
1 minute to go, according to my computer.
I've got the Angel Band up here, sort of to represent the team.
Which version of it?
Simon, Nick, Sue, Rob, Dave, Sid, Alex, and Chris.
Zoom panic over. Why don't you make some?
those were the days.
Indeed. Yay. Haha.
Essence of Angel Band, D and G.
People's keys.
Okay, Nick, take it away for a tune.
adjusting the range of your speaker there.
Yeah, tonight's it's a 30-second wedding anniversary, so it is my.
Should you really be here then?
Wow.
Well, I am here. My alcohol and ice cream baby, black lingerie and French perfume, Chardonnay Zabaglione in the window of a candlelit room, dancing to a piano playing stop time in a mirrored hall with a view of a garden planted like Vitas in a million shades of blue. A poet named Dylan sang for her, but for her lover he politely declined. Her lover wrote another song for her, and her husband didn't seem to mind. She drives a hatchback through London, listening to Radio 4. A guy called Eddie Grundy says it's a bore to be poor. Money can't buy you happiness, your health, a home, why try? I'll buy you tutti frutti and champagne until the day I die. I love you, yes I do, and that is that. Na 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 na. There we go. And over to Sheila.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Right.
I have put it up on the text. I said
did you?
after me, Sheila Riggy.
Sorry, I haven't got around to looking at the text, the chat yet. Right. I have. Some of you have heard me talk in the past about an eccentric American singer called the Reverend Baby Hoover. And this is another one of hers. It's one that I've never sung before because what I like most about it is the harmony, and I haven't yet mastered the Tuvan technique of, singing in two voices. So what I've done is I've stolen a few lines from the harmony line, and I'm going to sing those instead of the main line. I'll just guess it. As I travel through this pilgrim, it's yet another, for an atheist, I sing an awful lot of songs about God. I know I've said that before. As I travel through this pilgrim land, there is a friend who walks with me, leads me safely through the sinking sand. It is the Christ of Calvary. This would be my prayer, dear Lord, each day to help me do the best I can. For I need thy light to guide me day and night. Blessed Jesus, hold my trembling hand. Jesus, hold my hand. I need thee every hour. Through this pilgrim land, protect me by thy saving power. Hear my simple plea. Oh, my Lord, look down on me. When I kneel in prayer, I know I'll meet you there. Blessed Jesus, hold my trembling hand. Let me travel in the light divine, that I may see the blessed way. Keep me that I may be holy, where thine and redemption come someday. I would be a soldier brave and true, and ever firmly take a stand. As I onward go and daily meet the foe, blessed Jesus, hold my trembling hand. Jesus, hold my hand. I need thee every hour. Through this pilgrim land, protect me by thy saving power. Hear my simple plea. Oh, my Lord, look down on me. When I kneel in prayer, I know I'll meet you there. Blessed Jesus, hold my trembling hand. When I wander through the valley dim towards the setting of the sun, lead me safely to a land of rest. If I a crown of life have won, I have put my faith in thee, dear Lord, that I may reach the golden strand. There's no other friend on whom I can depend. Blessed Jesus, hold my trembling hand. Last chorus. Jesus, hold my hand. Oh, I need thee every hour. Through this pilgrim land, protect me by thy saving power. Hear my simple plea. Oh, my Lord, look down on me. When I kneel in prayer, I know I'll meet you there. Blessed Jesus, hold my trembling hand. Hallelujah.
Woo! So, over to Riggy in California,
Hurrah.
coming over.
I'm muted. Let's see. Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? That's too low. Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Will you ride on a horse or be drawn in a car or walk by my side, sweet Tibby Dunbar? I care not your daddy, his lands or his money. I care not your kin, so high and so lordly. But say you'll go with me for better or worse, and come in my coatie, sweet Tibby Dunbar. I offer you nothing in silver or land. What man can determine the price for your hand? But give your consent, you'll be richer by far, and say that you'll have me, sweet Tibby Dunbar. Oh, will you be known as a poor beggar's lady, sleep in the heather, wrapped up in my plaidy, the sky for your roof, your candle a star, my love for your fire, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Will you ride on a horse or be drawn in the cart, or walk by my side, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Thank you, Ed.
Never heard that one before, Riggy. That was great.
That's lovely.
The Robert Burns song, but the last verse was added by, I believe, by Dan Milner, who we all know and love.
Oh, well, we do, yes.
I'll say hello to Ed there. Hello, Ed. You with us? Okay. Well,
Ed is muted, so he may be talking. But
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Just
Fine.
checking that.
Yeah.
Checking that you're there and all okay.
I am indeed. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you a shout out when it's your turn coming up and things. Okay?
Okay, grand.
Right. Okay. Now, Pete and Maggie, now are you going to do one or two numbers? Or one together, or what are you going to do? I can't hear you. You've gone quiet again. Bash your computer.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, that's better.
Really? Okay
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Golly, we're having a bit too much excitement with this thing tonight. Well, tune, and it's my one, but Pete's going to play a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's now I've forgotten whose barn dance. Bill Nally's barn dance. Like a lot of our best tunes, we were taught it by Neil Rogers and Jan Lawrence, who I wish were not so Zoomiverse.
Lovely.
Thank you. So, Bernard, does Pete sneak in on this one?
I can't hear a word. No, I can't hear a word. He's muted. He's muted. But yeah.
Yeah, no, Pete next. Yeah.
Yeah. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.
Right. Well, we can be heard.
Zoom, of course, is not only for folk clubs.
Oh, just get on with it.
Yeah. And not only for folk clubs. And we've been going to, I suppose, what is an arts workshop where they give you a theme every week. And the theme for this week was time. So I, of course, went to the Herb and the folk song. And amongst other things, discovered a marvellous version of...
Do you want the light on?
No.
Okay.
The marvellous version of Norva Waterson singing, and everything with Martin down at I think it might have been Lewis Folk Club. Every single verse is a floating verse. There isn't sort of one that you could say that's part of the. They're all floating verses. Anyway, I went through scores of bits of material to find a version I was happy to sing at short notice. Come all you. Can I remember? No.
It sounded nice before. That's why I said shut up and sing.
Come all you maidens young and fair, that flourish in your prime. I be aware and keep your garden fair. Let no man steal away your bunch of time. For time, it is a precious thing, and time brings all things to your mind. Time with all its labours, along with all its joys. Time brings all things to an end. Oh, once I had a sprig of time. I thought it never would decay, until there came a fiddler who played a pretty tune, and he stole away my bonny bunch of time. Oh, time, it is a precious thing. Time brings all things to your mind. Time with all its labours, along with all its joys. Time brings all things to an end. The fiddler played a pretty tune. He played it in the month of May. He played it to remind me, all in the new mown hay, of the time he stole away my bunch of time. Time, it is a precious thing. Time brings all things to your mind. Time with all its labours, along with all its joys. Time brings all things to an end. For woman is a lofty tree, and man's a vine, a clinging vine, and from her branches carelessly he'll take what he can find. Oh, time, it is a precious thing. Time brings all things to your mind, and time with all its labours, along with all its joys. Time brings all things to an end.
Now over to Roger.
Thank you.
Okay.
This song I see in my researches was written by someone called Billy Hill. So hopefully I won't be doing the Benny Hill version. We'll see. It's very old, and I think it used to be played with an orchestra. Okay. Sorry. Must be the intense heat in my house. Sorry about this. Give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Laugh a little, cry a little, let the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. They're just the two of us, we got that world in its charms. When the world is through with us, we got each other's arms. Win a little, lose a little, even sing them blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. and its charms. When the world is through with us, we got each other's arms. Live a little, die a little, let them clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. That's the story of, that's the glory of love.
Yay.
Who needs an orchestra?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Over to Wendy.
Okay, well you're not getting an orchestra now. Sorry. Okay, this is Sydney Carter song, and it's the Karine Polwart version, I guess, really. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. Now is the time for a child to be born. He'll laugh at the sun and he'll cry at the moon. And if it's a boy, he will carry a gun, cries the crow on the cradle. And if it should be that the baby is a girl, never you mind if her hair doesn't curl. With rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, a bomber above her wherever she goes, cries the crow on the cradle. Rock-a-bye, baby, the black and the white. Somebody's baby is born for a fight. Rock-a-bye, baby, the white and the black. Somebody's baby is not coming back, cries the crow on the cradle. Your mother and father, they'll scrimp and they'll save, build you a coffin and dig you a grave. Hush-a-bye, little one, why do you weep? We've got a toy that can put you to sleep, cries the crow on the cradle. We have a gun that will shoot this bird dead. That's what your mama and papa once said. The crow on the cradle, what shall I do? That is a thing that I'll leave up to you, cries the crow. Crow on the cradle.
Wonderful.
A great song,
No,
that.
yeah. Where's that from?
It's written by Sydney Carter.
Sydney Carter, whom I used to know.
Yeah, who was a poet and a songwriter and a friend of Lionel Blue, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yes, and a friend of mine, to a lesser extent.
Oh, Sheila.
Okay, so over to Paul, who's got a sad story to sort of to go with the he put up on the chat, but I think a lot of people will have missed it because they came in late. So, Paul, do you want to sort of give the intro?
Yeah, so last week, a fortnight ago, I did 1916, a Motorhead song that Jim Radford normally sings at the Cenotaph on Remembrance Sunday, and of course this year it's all up the creek. So we knew Jim was in hospital, but the day after the last meeting here, Jim passed away in the morning. We knew he was in Lewisham Hospital with COVID-19, but 92 years old, passed away. Interesting thing that Helen was reminding me that Jim used to sing at Hiroshima Day commemorations in Tavistock Square. And one year I couldn't go, and Helen came back and said that Jim had actually sung The Crow on the Cradle there. So, so there's a little bit. So anyway, for those on the other side of the Atlantic, Jim Radford at 15 years old was the youngest participant in the Normandy landings. And so this was his big hit. In the cold grey light of the 6th of June, in the year of 44, the Empire Lark sailed out from Poole and joined with thousands more. The greatest fleet the world had seen, we sailed in close array. And we set a course for Normandy in the dawning of the day. There was not one man in all our crew who knew what lay in store. For we had waited for that day through 5 long years of war. We knew that many would not return, but all our hearts were true. For we were bound for Normandy, where we had a job to do. Now the Empire Larch was a deep sea tug with a crew of 33, and I was just a galley boy on my first trip to sea. I little thought when I left home of the dreadful sights I'd see, but I came to manhood on the day that I first saw Normandy. At our own match off the beach of gold, beneath the rocket's deadly glare, we towed our block ships into place, and we built a harbour there. 'Neath shot and shell we built it well, as history does agree, while brave men died in the swelling tide on the shores of Normandy. Like the Rodney and the Nelson, there were ships of great renown, but rescued tugs all did their share, as many a ship went down. We ran our pontoons to the shore, within the mulberry's leaf. And we made safe berth for the tanks and guns that would set all Europe free. For every hero's name that's known, 1,000 died as well. On stakes and wires their bodies hung, rocked in the ocean swell. And many a mother wept that day for the sons they loved so well. Men that cast the smoke and cracked a joke as they stormed the gates of hell. As the years passed by, I can still recall the men I saw that day who died upon that blood-soaked sand where now sweet children play. And those of you who were unborn, who've lived in liberty, remember those who made it so on the shores of Normandy. Every time we ever met Jim or did anything, Jim, actually one of the last times early on the year was a walk down Whitehall with Veterans for Peace for Julian Assange. And when you're with Jim, there's always a story comes up, like walking down Whitehall, he told us, I've been arrested 3 times on Whitehall, and the first of which was with Bertrand Russell. So then you realise that Jim really was that old. But one of the other things he said to me once, that in a crowd of people, if you see a crowd of people, he would see a face in that crowd. So one of the stories is he was a galley boy, and one of his jobs was peeling potatoes, you know. So his first day at Normandy, he's gone out and chucked the potato peelings over the side of the Empire Arch, and they've landed on somebody just floating, you know, a body floating in the sea. And he said, if he sees a crowd of people, you will still see that face in that crowd. How it goes on. Right.
An association that the folk club has with it, sort of a couple of years ago, I went to a 90th birthday for John Abbott. I don't know if you remember John and Joy Abbott. They used to be on the door of the Islington Folk Club for years.
It was a good party. It was a good party. That it was a good party. That.
And John was the treasurer, and his daughter Judith Abbott, who's in Chumbawamba, sort of was at the club and used to come with Catherine and things. So John was at Normandy as well, but he was part of the Navy, which was your friend in the Navy as well. The way he was talking about there, Paul.
Sorry, say that again.
Was he in the Navy? He wasn't in the army.
No, he was merchant navy, so he was 15 years old, the youngest.
Okay. I got the impression that John was in the Royal Navy and was about 19 years old, which obviously at the beginning of the war you'd only be 14, 15, I assume. Which, if you sort of look at it that way, and I know that John was very almost embarrassed that he went on some trip, and there were a lot of Americans there who were saying they were so proud to know someone who'd been at D-Day, and I think he felt probably terrified as anyone would be, just doing his job, whatever it was on the boat going in, as everything happened and things. But It's interesting that those people that we have are so associated with that.
Another connection with Pete and Maggie then that preceded Wendy was we did hear Maggie saying, "Get on with it." The last time we were actually at a folk club back in February with Jim was at Elton Folk Club, and they were a bit late starting. We were at a folk mob, and Jim's gone, "Get on with it. I'm not getting any younger, you know."
Yeah. Well, I would say that a thing about the Islington Folk Club is, particularly when Bob Davenport ran it, it ran in a slick, minimalist manner, and I think I kept it going in a similar manner. I apologise for taking up too much time, so I shall hand over to whoever was next on my list, who I've now forgotten.
I've done a lot of talking myself, sorry.
Kate, I think.
Kate, over to Kate.
Yeah. Am I the right distance away? I hope so. A song which starts the same way that Wendy's song started, actually, but it's a different song. And it's about bringing up teenagers, Northeastern song, Bonnie at Morn. The sheep's in the meadow, the kites in the corn, the sun in thy bed, Bonnie at morn. The sheep's in the meadow, the kites in the corn, the sun in thy bed, Bonnie at morn. Can yet need Bonnie at morn, thou sour lung in thy bed, Bonnie at morn. The birds in the nest and the trouts in the burn, thou hinderest thy mother at many a turn. The birds in the nest, the trouts in the burn, thou hinderest thy mother at many a turn. Can he at need, Bonnie at morn, thou sour lang in thy bed, Bonnie at morn. We're all laid idle, we're keeping the bairn. The lad will not work, and the lass will not learn. We're all laid idle, we're keeping the bairn. The lad will not work, and the lass will not learn. Can he at need, Bonnie at morn, thou sour lang in thy bed, Bonnie at morn. Can he at need, Bonnie at morn, thou sour lang in thy bed, Bonnie at morn. Thank you.
Good.
I love that.
Right. Just before we let Chris sing, I just want to communicate with Ed Harper to check that he's tuned in, because it's Ed after Chris. So Chris is going to sing next, and then Ed, you're on next. Is that okay? Looks like it.
Yeah, okay, Grant.
Okay, so it's Chris then Ed.
Yeah.
Okay, radio. Let's intermute land.
Okay.
Come.
I don't think Ed's quite muted yet, but okay. One of the things I've only just discovered about Zoom is that when you join a Zoom session, you normally find yourself in the top row, second from the left, and I think everybody finds that. I thought you had to stay there because you seem to stay there, but you don't have to stay there. You can move around, and I've only just discovered that. At the moment, I'm sitting between Sheila and Wendy, which is a delightful spot to be. And
not on my screen, you're not.
And not only can you move yourself around, you can move anybody else around as well. And you can put people next to each other who you fancy, think would be compatible with each other. Anyway, it's enough of that. I'm going to sing a song called "The Hand Weaver and the Factory Maid," which I got from the singing of Bert Lloyd, who sings it as a fairly gentle, song, a rather tender song about love between a hand weaver from the countryside and a factory girl. But I always sort of hear a different rhythm in it, and I have a feeling that somebody has sung it in this this different rhythm, and I can't think who. But if anybody knows, perhaps you could let me know. Sheila may know. She knows most things. I am a hand weaver to my trade. I fell in love with a factory maid, and if I could but her favour win, I'd stand beside her and weave by steam. Me father to me scornful said, how could you fancy a factory maid when you could have girls fine and gay, undressed like to the Queen of May? As for your fine girls, I don't care, and could I but enjoy, my dear, I'd stand in the factory all the day, and she and I keep our shuttles in play. I went to my love's bedroom door, where oft times I had been before, but I could not speak, nor yet get into that pleasant bed my love lay in. How can you say it's a pleasant bed when out lies there but a factory maid, a factory lass, although she be? Blessed is the man that enjoys she. Oh, pleasant thoughts come to my mind as I turn down the sheets of fine and see her two breasts standing so, like two white hills all covered in snow. Where are the girls? I'll tell you plain, the girls have gone to weave by steam, and if you'd find them, you must rise at dawn and trudge to the mill in the early morn. Hand weave and the factory maid.
Excellent. The rhythm is great.
Yeah, that's Bert sang it a bit quite a bit slower than that, more slowly than that, as far as I remember.
Yeah. I've got a message from Nick saying Spires and Bowden.
Well, that would have been.
Did they do a version or something? Is it?
Chris, you're muted. We can't hear a word you're saying.
Sorry, I said I hadn't heard Spires and Bowden sing it, but thanks for that.
Is that I assume that is that the quote? Okay. Over to who did I say? I've said Chris. Okay, it's Ed now. Over to Ed in Ireland, I think. Okay, are you there? Come in, Ed.
Hello, can you hear me?
You're there. Take it away.
Yeah.
I'm going into mute land.
I keep getting messages from the demons in my computer telling me my connection is unstable. So if I disappear, you know what happened. But yeah, we maintain here where I am that we're not in Ireland because we're overseas. We're an island 9 miles off the Cork coast, so we're abroad. Anyway, talking about the northeast of England. I'll sing a song from the northeast of England, especially since it's November. It's a Tommy Armstrong song. It was early in November now, I never will forget. The polishers and the candy men at Dougie Sousa's met. And Johnny the bellman, he was there just squinting round about. Why, he put 3 men on every house to turn them pitmen out. Ah, what would I do if I had the power myself? I'd hang them 20 candy men, and Johnny we carries the bell. Now for there they went from house to house just to put things on the road, and mind they didn't harm themselves with carrying heavy loads. And one would carry the fender, the poker or the rake, but if they carried 2 together, boys, it was a grave mistake. Ah, what would I do if I had the power myself? I'd hang them 20 candy men and Johnny Wick carries the bell. Now some of these dandy candy men, they were dressed up like a clown. Some had hats without a flight and some without a crown. Some had no laps upon their coats, but there was one chap worse. For every time that he had to stoop, he was a laughable farce. Ah, what would I do if I had the power myself? I'd hang them 20 candy men and Johnny Wick carries the bell. Now some chaps had no sleeves, no buttons upon their coats, and one chap had a Ben's hip and lapped around his throat. Another chap had a pair of breeks as belonged to a boy. The one leg was a sort of tweed, but t'other were corduroy. Ah, what would I do if I had the power myself? I'd hang them 20 candy men and Johnny Wick carries the bell. Now, lass, there comes the masters, and they think that they should think shame, depriving wives and families of a comfortable yam. And when they ship away this life, why another'll gone to hell. I along with them 20 candy men, and Johnny Wick carries the bell. Ah, what would I do if I had the power myself? I'd hang them 20 candy men, and Johnny Wick carries the bell.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, Ed.
Good stuff.
It's Nick and Amanda. Then I think it's back to me. Jim Gear dropped in and dropped out again, and David, you want to drop out? You don't want to do something tonight? I think that's right. Okay.
Yeah, Jim was having trouble with his computer, he said.
Right. Okay, so over to Nick then.
Okay, this is a bit of nonsense. It comes in various forms, but this is the form that I'd like to sing it in. There once was a man who came from Kinsale, Aber and Bain, and in Aberlin. He had a herring for sale. Sing Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, sing herring, sing man, sing... Oh, sorry. Can I start again? There once was a man who came from Kinsale, Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. He had a herring for sale. Sing Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, sing man of Kinsale, sing herring for sale. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, and indeed I have more of me herring to sing. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. What do we think we did with his head? Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, the finest ovens that ever baked bread. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, sing heavens, sing herring, sing head, sing oven, sing bread. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, and indeed I have more of me herring to sing. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. What do you think you did with his eyes? Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, the finest dishes that ever made pies. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, sing herring, sing eyes, sing dishes, sing pies. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, and indeed I have more of me herring to sing. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. What do you think they did with his back? Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. A nice little man, his name was Jack. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, sing herring, sing back, sing nice little Jack. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, and indeed I have more of me herring to sing. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. What do you think they did with his fins? Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. Finest cases for needles and pins. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, sing herring, sing canes, sing faces and pens. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, and indeed I have more of me herring to sing. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. What do you think they did with his tail? Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, the finest ships that ever set sail. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, sing herring, sing tails, sing ships, sing sail. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin, and indeed I've no more of me herring to sing. Aber and Bain, sing Aberlin. Ah, sorry about
Heard that for ages.
It's the right time to be singing that. We only have.
Aye.
So, Chris, you're saying when I point to someone at the screen, they can't see me. Oh, the point. Maybe they can. Or everyone thinks I'm pointing at them. Oh,
Yes.
right. So, okay.
Yes. If you point at
It's,
the
it's
camera,
Amanda
everybody
I'm
will think
pointing
they're
at.
pointing.
Just yeah. But could I do the running order by putting people in order that I want to come on the
Yes,
screen?
you could.
I'll
But of
have a
course,
chat with you later on about how to do it. Okay.
Dave won't
It's
see it.
over to
Only
Amanda.
you.
Okay, yeah, hi everybody. You've written Ed, Nick, Amanda, but I have an extra Nick here if you want him, but I don't think he'll give you a song actually. Okay. So this kind of follows on a little bit from Chris's song. It's about mill workers, but from the female perspective. Keep your bobbins running easy, show your gallus bright and breezy. Wait until Prince Charming sees ye working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threes, coarse and fine, dreaming o' your Valentine, working in the mill. Oil your runners, mend your thread, do your best until you're dead. Wish you were a wife instead of working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threes, coarse and fine, dreaming o' your Valentine, working in the mill. Used to think you'd be the rage, smiling on the fashion page. Never dreamt you'd be a wage slave, working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threes, coarse and fine, dreaming o' your Valentine, working in the mill. Used to think that life was kind, no it isn't, never mind. Maybe someday love will find you working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threes, coarse and fine, dreaming o' your Valentine, working in the mill. He loves you not, so what? Do the best with what you've got. Win your pay and spin your cotton, working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threes, coarse and fine, dreaming o' your Valentine, working in the mill.
Yeah, lovely.
Beautiful.
Right. This is my song for the land of the recount. Had a Chevy in Atlanta, drove down Highway 16. A blind man in Savannah showed me what he'd seen. A man with a plan, squares that please, Spanish moss hanging from live oak trees. Had a Chevy in Atlanta, drove down Highway 16. Robert E. Lee and slavery, Native Americans and bravery, Southern manners and Southern charm, hide the hate and hide the harm. Had a Chevy in Atlanta, drove down Highway 16. Freebird played in Atlanta town, General Sherman burnt it down. War is hell, we can see, peace ain't cheap, freedom ain't free. Had a Chevy in Atlanta, drove down Highway 16. Moon River manned on the Mulberry Grand, while the English folk played a wild rummy hand, with runs in sweets and three of a kind. Savannah dreaming, Georgia on my. Had a Chevy in Atlanta, drove down Highway 16. Had a Chevy in Atlanta, drove down Highway 16.
Is that new? I've not heard.
No, I
wrote
I wrote it in 2005 on our first holiday in America. We went to Savannah and Charleston, sort of, and in that way that you suddenly were quite shocked that the Civil War wasn't over. You know, sort of we went on this walking tour, and a blind man showed us around Savannah. And he was, there were only about 5 of us on the walking tour, but the other couple were, she was from Savannah, but her husband was from New York. And he said, "How come you married a Yankee?" And then there were other barbed remarks on the way round. And you definitely got that feeling, you know, so, you know.
Yes.
And with everything that's happened, you know, since then. Yeah. Hey ho, over to Sheila next.
I was going around the Black Country Museum once and dropped in at the motorcycle shop there and was telling the guy, he was telling me about the old motorcycle industries in the Black Country, and I said, yeah, I was a very proud owner of a Triumph, and he said, Coventry is not in the Black Country.
It's an amazing accent, isn't it? Right, Chris sang a song that Bert Lloyd used to sing. This is one that I learned from Bert a long time ago. I'm going to take a note for this, otherwise I might end up a bit squeaky. I mean, I might anyway, but you know. Oh dear, frogs come back. You're welcome. That might not be right. Let me take that down, I think. Sorry. I seem to be croaky still for some reason. You're welcome home again, said the young man to his love. I've been waiting for you many a night and day. You're tired and you're pale, said the young man to his love. You will never again go away. I must go away, she said, when the little cock do crow, for here they will not let me stay. Oh, but if I had me wish, oh, my dearest dear, she said, this night would be never, never day. And oh, you little cock, Oh, you handsome little cock, I pray you do not crow before day. And your wings will be made of the very beaten gold, and your comb of the silver so grey. But oh, this little cock, this handsome little cock, he crew loud a full hour too soon. It's time I should depart, oh my dearest dear, she said, for 'tis now the going down of the moon. Oh, and where is your bed? Oh, my dearest love, he said, and where are your white holland sheets? And where are the maids, oh, my darling dear, he said, that wait upon you whilst you are asleep? The clay is my bed, my dearest dear, she said. The shroud is my white holland sheet, and the worms and creeping things are my servants dear, she said, that wait upon me whilst I am asleep.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. A bit croaky.
Excellent. So,
Great
so
work on that.
Riggy, over to Riggy.
Okay. You know, this is a song about watches, which are not things you wear on your wrist. They're cycling daily responsibilities aboard a ship.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another metal watch, another hair upon me chest. In just an hour or two, I can go and get some rest. Morning dogs or afternoon, the forenoon or the first. There's none of them comes easy, but the middle is the worst. Keep the engine going round, your diesel going up and down. Keep the old ship going homeward bound. How did I get into this when I was just a boy? My mother wouldn't let me go, I was her pride and joy. When she tried to stop me, I just ran away to sea. But mothers always know best now, that's very plain to me. Keep the engine going round, your diesel going up and down. Keep the old ship going homeward bound. I never heard of watch keeping, that can't have been too bright. I thought that when the sun went down, we'd anchor for the night. My old sea dad put me straight, he says we're running free. That's 4 hours on and 8 hours off, and working in between. Keep the engine going round, your diesel going up and down. Keeping the old ship going homeward bound. At 4 o'clock next morning, I was down below in hell, grubbing plates and punching sprayers, making tea as well. After 4 long hours, I was really fit to drop. I'd an hour off for breakfast, and I turned to up on top. Keep your engine going round, your diesel going up and down. Keep the old ship going homeward bound. Who's singing along with me? After 20, then I heard in submarines there's extra money paid, and only 3-hour watches, so I got it made. I quickly volunteered and leaped to find I had been green. That would 4 hours on and 8 hours off, and working in between. Keep the engine going round, your diesel going up and down. Keep the old ship going homeward bound. Then I heard in submarines there's extra money paid, and only 2-hour watches, so I thought I got it made. Quickly volunteered, but then I leaped to Harbor Green. That was 2 hours on and 4 hours off, and working in between. Keep the engine going round, your diesel going up and down. Keep the old ship going homeward bound. 'cause there's another metal watch, another hair upon me chest. In just an hour or two I can go and get some rest. Morning dogs or afternoon, the forenoon or the first. There's none of 'em comes easy, but the middle is the worst. I'm Lewis. Does he live in London?
What?
Does Tom Lewis live in London now?
Don't think so.
No, he was in Canada. He was living in Canada. But...
He left a long time ago and came back either to Belfast or to London, I thought. Or maybe
I thought he was in Sussex, but oh no,
okay, maybe that was it.
I'm thinking of the other Tom Lewis. No, you mean the
Do you mean the Submariner?
Yeah.
The Submariner, because I knew him from Gosport and Portsmouth.
Yeah. He's lived a lot of places like me.
Yeah, well, he was in the Navy, so down in Gosport. So
that's what that song was all about. His
yeah. No, I used to say he had one of the most magnificent voices I've ever heard.
Oh, I'd die for that.
Yeah, you know. So, hey ho. So, it's Pete and Maggie. What have they got to show? Are they going to give us sound? Or sound and vision, a silent show? I can't hear you.
That's
Right. Yeah, we've got you.
Right. This is one of the first tunes I ever learnt on the concertina, so it's near the top of a very small list, and I can never remember the correct name of it, so I won't bother to give it to you. Except it's the tune is 2 years younger than me, because it was apparently written in 1948. Added to which the concertina I'm playing was built 100 years before I arrived in England. If you can add all that up.
Lovely.
That was a really clever trick, vocalising the flute. Maggie, are you going to do something for us as well?
Well, if I may, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's two of you, so
Thank you. Right.
if the other one is helping out, that's all right.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, yeah, bit of misery, funeral song, and fear no more the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter rages. Thou thy worldly task hast done. Home art gone, and ta'en thy wages. Golden lads and girls all must, as chimney sweepers come to dust. Fear no more the frown of the great. Thou art past the tyrant's stroke. Care no more to clothe or eat. The reed to thee is as the oak. The sceptre learning physic must all follow this and come to dust. Fear no more the lightning stroke, nor the old dreaded thunderstone. Fear not censure, scandal rash. Thou art done with joy and moan. All lovers young, all lovers must consign to this and come to dust. No necromancer charm thee, no nor witchcraft harm thee, ghost unclean forbear thee, nothing ill come near thee. Quiet consummation have, and renowned be thy grave.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Words
Is
by,
that
Will,
from a
words
poem?
by Will of Stratus. It's from one of Shakespeare's plays, and
Oh,
I'm
of course
desperately
it
trying to
is.
remember which one.
Of course it is, yes.
Sung by one of the fools, not Feste. I
Cymbeline,
can't
which is
remember.
such a naff play, no wonder nobody sees it. We did go see it at Shakespeare's Globe a couple of winters ago.
Oh, right.
Glorious production, but it was a good reminder of why nobody puts it on anymore.
Which play did you say it was?
What play?
Sorry?
Which one did you say it was?
Shakespeare's Globe, the San
Yeah,
Juan
no, I know.
Cymbeline, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, Cymbeline. I
right.
saw a really good production of Cymbeline once at the Cottesloe at the National, but yeah, it's quite a difficult play, but worth doing. It does get done. The RSC still does it occasionally, inevitably.
I remember seeing that one, Sheila. That was, yes, visceral.
Mm.
Okay, over to Roger to take us up to interval time.
Thank you. Yeah, I really liked that one Pete and Maggie did. The instrumental one was lovely. Really nice, that. Really nice. Came across very well. Especially when I didn't know you were going to play anything. It was a surprise. I'm looking out at the stars tonight, across the western sky. Whole thing moving at the speed of light. I don't know where or why. Well,
maybe it's just a great escape, but heaven only knows. They'll be back tomorrow night, as they know. There's nowhere else to go. He never said that he was done with this. Said I'll see you through. Doesn't matter if they shook their heads, those doctors don't have a clue. He said you and me would go out east, even get to Mexico. And he closed his eyes and I realized, for now, he'd nowhere else to go. So I went down to the waterfront, looking out to sea. Think about what my friend had said, I'm thinking what he said to me. Watching the waves rolling in, falling on the rocks below. From far across the sea they came, but now nowhere else to go. Might go down to Mexico, maybe leave for Spain, spend some time in the Western Isles, and head on south again. Looking out at the sea and the stars, and there's that woman I used to know. Waited for me all these years, 'cause she knew to go.
Top of the bill at the end of the first half, Roger. There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have an interval to 9:30, and ask Nick to play a tune to bring us back into form, and then I've actually written a list out. I think then is it Wendy? I think I can't remember. It's gone up the screen.
Sorry for occupying the chat. Sorry for occupying the whole.
No, it has got a scroll bar. It then says, "Oh, it's Paul, Angel Band, Paul, Wendy, Chris, Tony." From 9:30. Okay. I shall write it out again.
Hi, Nick.
Okay.
What was your song, Roger?
Sorry?
What was your song, Roger?
Oh, it's written by my old mate Terry Hiscock, who I've played with for the last 50 years. He's a great songwriter.
Really beautiful.
The lyrics. That's the wrong. The wrong.
It is recorded.
Is this all being recorded?
Sorry?
Oh no! Stop recording now.
No, I think you meant
this hasn't been recorded. It's on an album somewhere.
It's on an album.
Or CD or whatever you young people call it. Yeah. Like Terry's going big on the Zoom world at the moment. He's sort of touring the world at the moment. So, like Chris will come across him at all the
Yeah,
Zoom club.
I
Zoom
keep coming across him in different places, yes.
Yeah.
But you're not as often as I come across Riggy. Riggy is everywhere.
Oh, right.
Is that wrong?
No, it's great.
But I think he's saying the same thing about you, though, Chris.
Well, yes, he probably will.
When I was in London and I noticed that the audience was different in every club, and I thought that there was this whole loyalty thing, that I wasn't loyal enough to my home club. This, by the way, Islington was my home club because I could, I felt this was my home club, particularly when it was at the Horseshoe. And but then I would go to the King and Queen or the
The cellar.
In the cellar, yes.
I heard students that she's moved up there. I'm going to go get another beer.
I find it very difficult actually when the same people keep popping up.
I was dancing with people in Sheffield.
What?
You're a bit distorted, Tony.
Couldn't make out a word of that.
Oh dear God. I was dancing with people in Sheffield.
I think you've got a problem with your audio somehow because it's completely distorted, the sound.
Yeah, I can't make you out at all. No, I'm a bit disturbed that all of this chat is being recorded. I don't mean the written chat. I mean the rest.
Is it?
Yes, indeed. It should get switched off in the intro, shouldn't it?
It's a little bit inhibiting.
Red thing in the corner.
Hi, YouTube viewers. Hi.
I think Bernard leaves it on. I think Nick leaves the recording on deliberately so that when he leaves the room, we can't say anything about him without it.
Balderdash.
Right, I'm going to go and get a refill.
So, Maggie and Pete, what has happened to the rest of Dorton Yonder?
They just don't like Zoom. We're really disappointed. We got them to come round and play Tunes in the Garden just a couple of times. September.
3 we've done.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, that third one. Yeah. Yeah, so we talk to them on the phone sometimes. I think Broom Dasher had purloined Richard hugely before lockdown anyway, and I think they've been practicing in some bandstand in Parliament Hill. Yeah, we kind of keep up socially a bit, but they just don't like Zoom.
Have they tried Zoom? Because there are quite a lot of people who seem to they assume they don't like Zoom, but they haven't actually tried it.
Neil does a little Tai Chi teaching on it because he's been made to, so I think they're not completely in ignorance of it.
That's a shame. It'd be nice to see them.
Yeah.
Am I imagining things, or did an email come round from Unity asking people to express interest in trying a virtual session? And I haven't replied.
Actually Liz Phillipson's baby, and I gather a lot of people in Unity are also kind of Zoom refusers, but I think she thought it would be a nice idea for people.
For whose idea?
Liz Phillipson.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yes, I'm not sure what's happening with that.
I should reply.
I think it was just to see if it's for a sort of Christmas social.
Yeah.
He knows as much about it as anyone.
Bernard, like the cinemas, do you think you could find some quieter crisps?
Oh.
Well, they're being recorded.
I shall go on to mute.
Posterity.
Thank you.
So, and all these same old people who follow each other around were at Traditions last night?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about coming tonight because I was just like 3 nights in a row, but here I am.
Yeah, well, glad you made it.
Well, it's it's not quite the same as it used to be, but when I was a very young man, when I was a young shaver, you could go around London. You could go to a different folk club every night of the week for a month,
Yeah, I bet.
and now you could certainly do a Zoom every night if you want to. I think if you want to,
Yeah. Yeah, you probably could, yeah.
but you will see a few familiar faces.
Yeah. Are the Goose doing? I've dropped off their mailing list actually. The Goose is out. Are they
We
doing
never
Zoom
did
stuff?
manage to get there just from geography. I know Tooting is doing kind of some, and I think Twick folk. I mean, there's a few that we never went
Oh,
to
okay.
anyhow that seemed
Yeah.
quite active on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are too many. And then there are all the US ones and the Fife Sing and the Irish ones and
Are there many Scottish ones? Because I've only been to London ones and then the getaway weekend in Greater Washington.
the Fife Sing has taken to having sort of not quite monthly, 2 monthly sessions. None of which I've been to, although I've been invited.
Edinburgh
But
Folk Club sends me invitations. I can forward that to you, Amanda.
Which one
I can
does?
hardly hear you, Nick. So I didn't realise you were speaking.
Say that again.
Can't say it again. You're very,
Oh,
very.
the Edinburgh Club, yeah. Yes, John Barrow sends out stuff about
Oh,
that as well. Yeah. I can't really cope with more than 2 a week. This is my third one on the trot, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it through the night, to be honest. And if all three of the folk ones I do land in the same week as the former Guardian sub-editors one, then that makes 4. And if I do the ballad chat, if that happens to land in the same week and I do the ballad chat, then that would be 5, which would just be more than I could cope with. So I think I'm actually going to duck out early tonight because I'm feeling a bit zoomed out.
A friend I know from elsewhere invited us to a music hall one tomorrow as audience, and it was only an hour, and thought we'd do it, and I noticed it's being emceed by Russ Chandler, who's put it on Facebook, and I wondered if Bernard and Nick have had an interesting experience putting the link up, the Zoom link on Facebook. So watch this space. We thought we'd go along for
It
the
might quite suit a music hall, I think, having all the faces popping up and interjections.
No, because you want to be able to perform if you're doing a music. Well, I do if I'm doing a music hall song, and you can't really do that so easily when you're sitting down and not in costume. And I quite like having the piano when I'm doing musical stuff as well.
I think Russ said something about his light up bow tie, so I think there might be a costume or two.
Yeah. Could you get to Waldorf and Statler in there? That wasn't as bad as the last one. It was as bad as the last one.
Yes.
Zoom bombers can provide.
Indeed.
Where's David gone? I was having technical panics at the beginning when we couldn't be heard, and then I had phone call flash up on the screen and obliterate the pictures because this iPad talks to the phone.
Oh
And I
God,
think that was David. I think didn't have the link. So,
Right, it's 9:30, so I think we're in Angel Band territory now to have a tune, and then we get back to Paul and then Wendy, I think. So I'm going to mute land and ask Nick to play the tune.
Okay. Well, the Angel Band suffers the same thing as the rest of Dorton Yonder in that there's a whole load of people who claim to be technologically averse to joining Zoom, including Sid, who claims not to understand what a webcam is, although he's perfectly capable of answering emails.
He was a computer consultant for
Yes.
many years.
Yes.
Beautiful.
London Shocking.
Now, over to Paul.
Sorry, we were late back there.
That's all right. This is later than
You know, I'm muted instead of starting the video as well, so sorry. I've kind of tried to hone stuff to maybe suit the club, so I'm going to go sort of slightly sideways, and if it's inappropriate, just put no thanks in the chat, and no offence intended. Nobody feels any pain tonight as I stand inside the rain. Everybody knows that baby's got new clothes, but lately I see her ribbons and her bows are falling from her curl. She takes just like a woman, and she aches just like a woman, and she makes love just like a woman. Yeah, but she breaks. She breaks. She breaks. Just like a little girl. Queen Mary, she's my friend. Yes, I believe I'll go see her again. Nobody has to guess that baby can't be blessed, 'cause she sees finally she's just like all the rest. With her fog, with her amphetamine and her pearl, she takes just like a woman. She aches just like a woman, and she makes love just like a woman. Yeah, but she breaks. She breaks. She breaks. Just like a little girl. Well, it was raining from the first, and I was dying of thirst, so I came in here. And your long time curse hurts, but what's worse is this pain in here. I can't stay in it. Ain't it clear? That I just don't fit. Yes, I believe it's time for us to quit. When we meet again, introduced as friends, please don't let on that you knew me when I was hungry and it was your world. You fake just like a woman, and you ache just like a woman, and you make love just like a woman. Yeah, but you break. You break. You break, you break, you break, you break, you break. You break, you break, you break, you break, you break. You break, you break, you break, you break, you break. Just like a little girl.
That was rather wonderful.
Fantastic.
That was right. I put the very wonderful. I have put, of course, put the link up for when Dylan came to the Islington Folk Club. So, in 1988. Right. Okay, over to Wendy.
Okay. That's hard to follow, Paul. I thought that was brilliant. Imagine Paul playing the guitar while I sing. Okay, this is a Gillian Welsh number. Okay. Didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Didn't I hear somebody talking down in the alley? Saw you were walking. Didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Now didn't I spend all my money? Didn't I? Didn't I spend all my money? Didn't I? Didn't I spend all my money? Buy a tailor-made suit for your honey. Didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Now didn't I save all my kisses? Didn't I? Oh, didn't I save all my kisses? Didn't I? Didn't I save all my kisses? Make your bed, wash your dirty dishes. Didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Now didn't I try and make you happy? Didn't I? Oh, didn't I try and make you happy? Didn't I? Didn't I try to make you happy? Waved goodbye to my mom and my papi. Didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Oh, didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Oh, didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Didn't I hear somebody talking? Down in the alley, saw you were walking. Didn't I hear somebody talking? Didn't I? Oh, didn't I? Oh, didn't I?
Hey,
Nice one, Wendy.
thank you.
Okay, if I work on my pictures down there.
Over to Chris. Where are you? Oh, you're over there.
Okay. I'm sure that I've sung this very recently somewhere, but I can't find it in my record I keep of which songs I've sung where. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't here, so I'll sing it here anyway. Here's me sheep cook and me black dog, I give them to you. Here's me bag and me budget, I bid them adieu. Here's me black dog and me sheep cook, I leave them behind. Fine Laurel, fine Flora, you proved so unkind. Unto my dear Dinah these words I did say. Tomorrow we'll be married, love, tomorrow is the day. Oh no, my dear Willie, my age is too young. One day till our wedding is one day too soon. I'll go into service if the day ain't too late. To wait on a fine lady, it is my intent. And when into service a year or two more, it's then we'll be married, love, and both settle down. A little while later, a letter was wrote to say that my dear Dinah had changed her mind. She said that she'd led such a contrary life. She said she could never be a poor shepherd's wife. Here's me sheep cook and me black dog, I give them to you. Here's me bag and me budget, I bid them adieu. Here's me black dog and sheep cook, I leave them behind. Fine Laurel, fine Flora, you proved all unkind.
Right, and now we say hello to Tony and see how her technology is coping. Tony, you in?
Right. Can you hear me?
Well, you can. You're
No.
count to 10. Because it's a bit wobbly.
1, 2.
No, you're sounding very Dalek-y.
Is it worth going?
No, I'm afraid not. You could be
Oh,
in craft
bloody
work
hell.
or
Try
something like that.
switching your video off and the sound might come through okay.
Well,
You don't
try
have
and
the
sing.
video.
Okay, right. I'll try. Oh, I got my internet connection is unstable. I rang BT about. Okay, is that any better? Is that any better?
That sounds a bit better, but try and sing a verse.
No.
Still distorted.
Is
I
it
don't think-
worth? Is it?
Oh no, it's still
Okay,
breaking up.
well, this is a song what I wrote. Inspired by being. It's still breaking up. Okay, pass.
Okay, now
I rang
I'm gonna get.
BT and they said they tweaked it, but they obviously have not.
Where are you, Tony? Are you in
anything
North London?
properly.
Are you in North London or are you in sort of outer Mongolia?
Bulgaria. No, Hackney.
You're Hackney in.
Yes.
We're going to Edge in some island off Ireland.
Pass.
Who seems to get a better connection than Hackney, I think. Ed, are you there?
Hi.
Hello,
Can you hear me
Ed.
now?
Ed,
Hello?
take it away. Yeah,
Okay.
you've got a better
Right.
connection than they have in Hackney.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, I'm responsible for the broadband here. That's why we have a better connection. But that's also why I never have video on, because if I use that much data, it would be bad. And if it wasn't bad for me, it'd be bad for the rest of the island. So, right. God, now what did I have in mind? Oh, I know. Yes, this is a really miserable song. That'll cheer you all up. It's kind of well, we're kind of halfway between Halloween and Christmas, and the original version of this story was The Wife of Ush as well, which is a Scottish story, poem, song, and in this Appalachian version, the thing has got shifted to Christmas, so it's been kind of roughly in the middle. So I'll sing it anyway. There was a knight and his lady bright. Sorry. And 3 little babes had she. She sent them away to the North Country to learn their grammary. Now they hadn't been gone but a very short time, about 3 months and a day, when the good Lord who rules over this whole wide world had taken those babes away. It was on a dark and cold Christmas night, when everything was still. She saw 3 babies come running down, the hill. Go spread a table of bread and wine, that they might drink and eat. Go make a bed of the winding winding sheet, that they might sleep so sweet. Take it off, cried the oldest one. Take it off, cried she. We cannot stay here in this wide and wicked world, for there's a better one for we. Cold clods down at my side. Cold clods down at my feet. The tears my dear mother would shed for me would wet my winding sheet.
Yes. Excellent version. Well sung.
What staggered me about that song is I learnt that song in the 1960s from the BBC broadcast field recordings that Alan Lomax did. And I actually was so impressed with the thing. I learnt it there and then. And I was the only person I ever heard sing it until about 3 months ago, when somebody turned up to work on my farm from New York, and she had with her a CD of field recording of the lady called Texas Gladden, who's actually from Virginia, and that's where I learned it from. And what amazed me was I hadn't really changed it much in however long that is, 50 years. So there you go.
It's a great version.
What's wrong with the process? It's supposed to.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Really? And actually, what's even more interesting, about 7 or 8 years ago now, maybe 10, I was actually in Cork, and there was this group of ladies over from somewhere or other in Appalachia called Appalachia Rising, and I sang that song, and they'd never heard it before. So they insisted I come outside in the street and record it for them on their phones so they could learn it. So if anybody happens to be that part of the world and those ladies come upon them, see if they know it yet.
Right. So now who's next? Kate, I think, is next. Lurking down here. Let's hand over to Kate. Right. Okay, into mute land.
Okay, you ready? I've known this song a very long time too. One of the first songs I learned. A sad song about a highwayman, Salisbury Plain. As I rode over Salisbury Plain, it's too high, hang on. As I went over Salisbury Plain, it's there I met a scamping young blade. He kissed me and enticed me so, till along with him I was forced for to go. We came unto a public house at last, and therefore as man and wife we did pass. He called for ale and wine and strong beer, till at length to bed we both did repair. Undress yourself, my darling, says he. Undress yourself and come to bed with me. Oh, yes, that I will, kind sir, said she, if you'll keep all those flash girls away. Those flash girls you need not fear, for you'll be safeguarded, my dear. I'll maintain you as some lady gay, for I'll go robbing on the highway. Early next morning, my love, he arose, and so nimbly he put on his clothes, and straight for the highway he set sail, all for to rob the coaches of the mail. Oh, it's now my love in Newgate jail do lie, and he's thinking every moment for to die. The Lord have mercy on his poor soul, for I think I hear the death bell for toll.
Now, I think by my magic formula, it's another song from Nick, and then it's Amanda, and then it's Terry. Welcome. After Amanda, yeah. Okay, Nick next.
So this is another song from a submariner well known to Mr. Puckett. Don't mind the rain nor rolling sea, the darkest night never worries me, but the hardest time in a sailor's day is to watch the sun as it dies away. Just one more day on the grey funnel line. The finest ships that sail the sea is like a prison to the likes of me. Oh, but if I had wings like Noah's dove, I'd fly to harbour, to the one I love. Just one more day on the grey funnel line. Oh Lord, if dreams were only real, I'd set my hand to that wooden wheel, and with all my heart I'd turn her around and tell the boys that we're homeward bound. Just one more day on the grey funnel line. I'll pass the time like some machine until blue waters turn to green, and then I'll dance down to the shore and sail the grey funnel line no more. Not one more day on the grey funnel line. Not one more day on the grey funnel line. Cyril Tawney, thank you.
Right, let's over to Amanda.
Okay. A song from the singing of Willie Scott via the singing of Alison McMorland. Cheerful ditty about aging.
You are using the computer also.
Somebody's unmuted, I think. Yeah. Okay. Oh, but the years run fast awa like the Kelvin to the Clyde. Send on its bonny gowan banks a woody for my bride. My dear lass, sae sweet and fair, sae artless and sae young. When love was all the grief we kent, and ye my only care. Time wears awa, time wears awa, and when I'll let us be, it stole the wild rose frae your cheek, and the blithe blink frae your e'e. When woods were green and flowers fair, and ye were all my ain, I little reckoned what years would bring of poor toil and pain. Some waeful hours hae flapped their wings, dark shadows o'er our lot. Sin, like twa cushions ower a glen, we strayed in this dear spot. Time wears awa, time wears awa, and when I'll let us be, it stole the wild rose frae your cheek, and the blithe blink frae your e'e. The voices o' her happy days steal on her dreams by night, and cherished memories rise and glow with their departed light. But still the birds and burnies sing their wildered melodies, as in the golden dawn o' youth, when we were young and free. Time wears awa, time wears awa, and when I'll let us be, it stole the wild rose frae your cheek, and the blithe blink frae your e'e.
Beautiful, Amanda.
And now, a welcome to Terry. Now, Roger's been telling us that you've become like an ABBA, taking on the world via video. So you're selling your soul around the Zoom world.
What's he been saying about me?
Oh, yeah. He says you're everywhere on Zoom, doing house parties in Outer Mongolia.
Well, yes. Very nice, and I've learned a lot about Outer Mongolia. I'm ever so sorry for being late. It's very good of you to let me sing a song at all, really, because I wasn't...
No, that's all right.
No, well, thank you ever so much. And having just heard what Amanda's... I can't go anywhere near that. That's just too good. So this really is going from the sublime to the ridiculous. This is an old up-tempo blues song. You couldn't get anything more different from that lovely last song. Well, now champagne don't drive me crazy. Cocaine don't make me lazy, but it ain't nobody's business what I do. Well, now candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. You can drink all the liquor down in Costa Rica, but it ain't nobody's business what I do. might go to church on Sunday, even go to work on Monday. Ain't nobody's business what I do. Well, you can do what you want and you can do it when you want to. It don't matter to me what you do, 'cause it ain't nobody's business what I do. Well, now some of these gals, the real fine gals, that go stepping downtown just to hang around, so the fellas can say, ooh, and ain't she sweet, and champagne don't drive me crazy, cocaine don't make me lazy, but it ain't nobody's business what I do. Well, now some of these gals, the real fine gals, that go stepping downtown just to hang around, so the fellas can say, ooh, and ain't she sweet, and you got a gal that you love on Sunday, go out and get another on Monday. Ain't nobody's business what I do. Well, now sticks and stones gonna break my bones, you know I'm gonna talk about you when I'm gone, but it ain't nobody's business what I do. 'Cause champagne don't drive me crazy, cocaine don't make me lazy, but it ain't nobody's business what I do. Well, now candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. You can drink all the liquor down in Costa Rica, but it ain't nobody's business. Ain't nobody's business. Ain't nobody's business what I do. Any note will do. There we are. Sorry, Amanda. It doesn't really compare with what you do.
Right. So this is obviously going to be a huge mistake. I'm going to do something in a similar genre. So that in fact, I believe Riley Puckett did sing that last song, and I found out that Riley Puckett does most of the songs that I do, and so. Although they seem to be rather different when I do them. So
Bernard, before you start, can I just say I'm going to duck out early because I'm a bit zoomed out this week, having done.
Okay. I will take offence.
Lovely to see you.
See
Well,
you
I
next
thought I'd
time.
wait till the end of the second round, and I'm usually after you, so I'm going just before I sing myself as well. I could wait for your song and then go, I suppose. I'll wait for your song.
No, don't worry. No.
Lovely to see you all.
You're setting up the network, walking over town, talking to the main man, and then the deal goes down. I wouldn't shout out fire unless you're Arthur Brown in a firework factory, and then the deal goes down. You think I'm looking stupid, you say I am a clown. The custard pie's a killer when the deal goes down. If you're lost for language, looking for a noun, ex-lovers have a long list when the deal goes down. I heard they dragged the river, they wouldn't let you drown. Clever money saw you waving when the deal went down. No one wants a leader, no one needs a crown. Is everybody equal when the deal goes down? When the deal goes down, oh Lord, when the deal goes down. When the deal goes down, oh Lord, when the deal goes down. Right now, who comes? It's Sheila's gone, hasn't she? Oh, that confuses. That brings me back to Pete and Maggie.
Sorry, Pete says he's got one. Yeah,
I got one.
Go for it.
Okay, go for it. Go.
Right. Okay. Can you give me some room? Make me room. Make me room. Clever people will notice I've swapped guitars. This is I suppose, my second best guitar, which has been sitting on the stand in the corner of the room since lockdown. And I've got it tuned in what Joni Mitchell calls Toronto backroom tuning. I think I'm correct there, but this isn't a Joni Mitchell song. I will use a Joni Mitchell chord. All the sisters of mercy, they are not departed or gone. They were waiting for me when I thought that I couldn't go on. And they brought me their comforts. Later they brought me their song. Oh, I hope you run into them, you who've been traveling so long. They lay down beside me. I made my confession to them. They touched my eyes. I touched the dew on their hems. If your life is a leaf that the seasons tear off and condemn, they will bind you with love that is graceful and green as a stem. When I left, they were sleeping. I hope you run into them soon. Don't turn on the light. You can read their address by the moon. And it won't make me jealous if I learn that they sweeten your nights. We weren't lovers like that, and besides it would still be alright. All the sisters of mercy, they are not departed or gone. They were waiting for me when I thought that I couldn't go on. And they brought me their comfort. Later they brought me their song. Oh, I hope you run into them, you who've been a-traveling so long.
gorgeous speech.
That seems.
I went perfectly in the bath this morning, and tonight I forget a verse.
Didn't you get the guitar wet?
Maggie, are you going to do something and then over to Riley? Or Riggy?
Pardon?
Maggie, are you going to sing a song or do?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm unprepared and have to change the tone a bit of weirdness from my father's repertoire. I'm sorry Sheila's not here to give me chapter and verse. There was a poor young man who left his simple country home and went to the city to seek employment. He promised his dear parents he would live a simple life and always shun the fatal curse of drink. But when he went to the city, he found employment in a quarry, and there he made the acquaintance of some college men. He little knew that they were demons, for they wore the best of clothes, but clothes do not always make the gentleman. One evening he went out with his newfound friends to dine, and they tried to persuade him to take a drink. They persuaded and they persuaded, but he refused and he refused, till finally he took a glass of beer. When he saw what he had done, he dashed the liquor to the floor and staggered out the door with delirium tremens. And while in his drunken stupor he met a Salvation Army lassie, and cruelly he broke her tambourine. When she saw what he had done, she put a mark upon his brow with a kick she'd learned from before she was saved. So, kind friends, remember this and shun the fatal curse of drink, and don't go breaking people's tambourines.
I don't know. I think there are exceptions to that rule.
Is that the kick she learned before she was saved?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Right. So now next it's Riggy, and then it's Roger, then Wendy, then Paul, then Chris. I think.
I like the fact that Bernard called me Riley, because I was just talking to everybody about having been Riley Puckett in Newcastle 50 years ago. That he was my role model. Here's a dog song, as we would say in New Jersey. Really, it's a fox hunting song, so I hope you like it. Well, here's to the fox in the earth beneath the rocks. Here's to the line that we follow. And here's to the hounds with their nose upon the ground, and merrily we'll whoop and we'll hollow. So drink, puppy, drink, let every puppy drink. Let them to swallow, that's old enough to drink and to swallow. For he'll grow into a hound, and we'll pass the bottle round, and merrily we'll whoop and we'll hollow. Now here's to the horse and the rider too, of course. Here's to the rally, to the hunt, boys. And here's to the pace that brings life unto the chase. And here's to the tally-ho in front, boys. So drink, puppy, drink, let every puppy drink that's old enough to lap and to swallow. For he'll grow into a hound, and we'll pass the bottle round, and merrily we'll whoop and we'll hollow. Now here's to the gap and the timber that we wrap. Here's to the whitethorn and the black too. And here's to have the pace that brings life unto the chase, and the fence that brings a moment for the pack too. So drink, puppy, drink, let every puppy drink that's old enough to lap and to swallow, for he'll grow into a hound and will pass the bottle round, and merrily will whoop and will hollow. Now the pack is staunch and true, and they've come from scent to view. It's worth the risk to life, limb and neck, boys, for to see them dive and stoop, and then finish with a whoop. 40 minutes on the grass without a check, boys. So drink, puppy, drink, let every puppy drink, that's old enough to lap and to swallow, for he'll grow into a hound and will pass the bottle round, and merrily will whoop and will hollow. The dog song.
Right, so Roger next. Over to Roger.
Thank you. This song is by Tom Paxton, who used to be all the rage in clubs, but don't seem to hear of him much anymore. And it mentions the Troubadour, which people of a certain age may remember. It was run by two refined Australians called Red Sullivan and Martin Windsor. I don't know if you unwrapped a toffee while Martin Windsor was singing, you would end up eating it in the street. It was that kind of place.
Australians?
Do you remember them, Pete? I'm sure you do.
I remember them.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not. It's just mentioned. That's all in the last verse. Okay. There's a dark and rolling sea between my true love and me as I wander through this cold, hard town. I could use a place to stay, a light to find my way, somewhere to lay my body down. If I could beg, steal, borrow a ticket on some ship or plane, I'd be leaving London tomorrow, fly to my own love again. Back at dawn to change my shirt, wash away the dirt, then it's over to American Express. Not one letter did I find, she didn't write one line, though I know she has my forwarding address. If I could beg, steal or borrow a ticket on some ship or plane, I'd be leaving London tomorrow to fly to my own love again. Last night the Troubadour was so full they barred the door, and I sang a song she knows quite well. But it wouldn't take too long to make up another song for a lonesome and a last farewell. If I could beg, steal, or borrow a ticket on some ship or plane, I'd be leaving London tomorrow to fly to my old love again. To fly to my own love again. Yes.
I saw, when I was sort of probably 16 or 17, I saw Tom Paxton at the Bournemouth Winter Gardens, but I went to see him because I had a book called Bluff Your Way Through Folk Music, and in the back it had a synopsis about what everyone was. It said sort of, don't be fooled by his moustache and his cap. He's got a lot of guts in his songs and things. So I thought, you know.
Isn't that where Al Stewart used to play lead guitar for Tony Blackburn, Bournemouth Winter Gardens?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. Well, Andy Summers also played guitar down there, didn't he? The whole Rob Fripp and King Crimson sort of, from down that way. Yeah. Hey ho! Next after Roger, I who did I say it was? Wendy. Over to Wendy.
Okay, this is a song by a different Tom, not Tom Paxton, Tom Waits. He sends me blue valentines all the way from Philadelphia to mark the anniversary of someone that I used to be. And it feels like a warrant out for my arrest. You got me checking in my rear view mirror. That's why I'm always on the run. That's why I changed my name. And I didn't think you'd ever find me here to send me blue valentines like half-forgotten dreams, like a pebble in my shoes as I walk these streets, and the ghost of your memories like a thistle in a kiss. It's a burglar that can break a rose's neck. It's the tattooed, broken promise that I hide beneath my sleeves. I'm gonna see you every time I turn my back. You send me blue valentines to remind me of my sins. I can never wash the guilt or get these blood stains off my hands. And it takes a lot of whiskey to make these nightmares go away. And I cut my bleeding heart out every night. I die a little more each Valentine's Day when I remember that I promised I would write you these blue valentines. Blue valentines, blue valentines.
Yeah.
So ask Paul, then Chris, and then I'm going to ask Ed to finish the night off. Ed, are you there? I think we'll go with Paul and see where we get to. I think.
Hello?
I think
Hello?
it's just hello.
Yeah. I will be here. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. So
this is a Paul Metzer song. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever been recorded or released on a thing. I always mean to check it before I do it, and I always forget to do it. Yeah. Every time you start a war, you think you might get more. It's not long before you forget what for. And there's no returning through that one-way door. And it's the young ones who pay. It's the young ones who pay. The young ones who pay. At the end of the day, it's the young ones who pay. Well, it might be you, it might be the other guy. You're a long way past the reason why. And if you have to, well, you're prepared to die. But it's the young ones who pay. It's the young ones who pay. It's the young ones who pay. At the end of the day, it's the young ones who pay. Will come a time when all is said and done, you realize that no one's really won, and you're right back there where it was first begun, and it's the young ones who pay. Well, the camera shows the rubble of the aftermath, trying hard to avoid the real bloodbath. But the hollow eyes of children on the hollow broken path are the young ones who pay. Are the young ones who pay. The young ones who pay. At the end of the day, it's the young ones who pay. The young ones who pay. The young ones who pay. At the end of the day, it's the young ones who pay.
Chris, over to you.
I'm going to pass because I want to hear either Amanda or Terry again, or preferably both.
You're muted, Bernard.
I shall unmute myself. I shall make a decision. We'll go straight to Amanda then, and then we'll go to Ed.
But I haven't got a song in my head.
Okay, we'll go to Terry. And Terry's on mute, so
Well, we're all big. I'd rather hear Amanda, actually. Have you sure, Amanda, you haven't got something?
Well, no, if
Oh,
you
get
go
on
out,
it,
I'll
Terry.
think of.
just get on. But let's go to Ed.
Go to Ed and then come back to Amanda. That will be the best thing, I think.
Okay, let's go to Ed.
Okay.
Ed,
I'm not
are you
shy.
there? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Ed.
can you hear me? Yeah, grand. Okay, well, I'll what I spend most of my time doing, or that I do every day, is milk. So I'll sing you a milking song. I only know two, and this is one of them. Willie went to Westerdale, I do a dandy. Willie went to Westerdale, Clish Clash McClandy. Willie went to Westerdale, he married a wife and he brought her home. Singalera, take her among ya. Now he bought a 20 Goodman Kai, I do a dandy. Bought a 20 Goodman Kai, Clish Clash McClandy. Bought a 20 Goodman Kai, she let 19 on 'em dry. Singalera, take her among ya. Now she's only milked it once a year, I do a dandy. Only milked it once a year, Clish Clash McClandy. She's only milked it once a year, that was to make butter dear. Singalera, take her among ya. Now when she's churning a boot, I do a dandy. When she's churning a boot, Clish Clash McClandy. When she's churning a boot to make a print, then she's putting her foot. Singalera, take her among ya. Now she's made this cheese and she's put it on shelf, I do a dandy. Made this cheese and she's put it on shelf, Clish Clash McClandy. She's made this cheese and she's put it on shelf, never turn cheese until cheese turns self. Singalera, take her among ya. Now she's roasted the hen, both feather and guts, I do a dandy. Roasted the hen, both feather and guts, Clish Clash McClandy. Roasted the hen, both feather and guts, heads and tails and wattles and foots. Singalera, take her among ya. Then she's done a far dirtier trick than that, I do a dandy. Done a far dirtier trick than that, Clish Clash McClandy. She's done a far dirtier trick than that. She's let Ben wet in his best nightcap. Singalera among ya. So I Willie went to Westerdale, I do a dandy. Willie went to Westerdale, Clish Clash McClandy. Willie went to Westerdale, he married a wife and he brought her home, but he wished he hadn't.
Oh. Right. Now we're going to see who's quickest on the draw. Is it Amanda or is it Terry?
It's Amanda, please. Thank you.
Is it okay? Well, this is a kind of it's a parting song, really.
That's a good song.
So yes, yeah. The time draws near, my dearest dear, for you and I to part. How little you know of the grief and woe of my poor aching heart, or what I suffer for your sake, the one I love most dear. I wish that I was going with you, or you were staying here. I wish my breast was made of glass, wherein you might behold your name in secret there lies wrote in letters bright as gold. Oh, there your name lies wrote, my dear, believe me when I say you are the one I'll love the best until my dying day. The blackest crow that ever flew would surely turn to white if ever I grow false to you. Bright day would turn to night. Bright day would turn to night, my dear. The elements will mourn if ever I grow false to you. The raging seas will burn. I've one request to make of you, if I may be so bold, to place a room within your heart, my secrets for to hold. To place a room within your heart, and throw away the key, that this vain world might never know how dearly I love thee. And when you're on some distant shore, think of your absent friend. And when the wind blows high and clear, a line to me pray send. Oh, when the wind blows high and clear, pray send a note to me, that I might know by your handwrite how time has gone with thee. The Blackest Crow.
So, am I right in saying that the next time we meet will be December?
Let me check.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
December the 3rd.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So, thank you, everybody.
That's my dog's birthday.
Oh, right. Excellent. We shall sing happy dog birthday songs.
Yeah,
what is the name of your
definitely.
dog?
Izzy.
Should you
Easy.
be on the mailing list, the invitation is in the chat now, and if you wish to copy it, please do.
Oh, right. Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and see you around on the in the Zoom world,
on the circuit.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bernard.
Bye. Thanks, Bernard. Bye, Rog.
Bye, Tel. See you on Sunday.
You will.
Take care.
Alert, Samantha
Bye, everyone.
McLean, the meeting. Alert, Ferry Hiscock has left the meeting. Alert, Beth Conscious has left the meeting. Alert, Roger Trevor has left the meeting.
Ed, what is that?
Where's that coming from?
It's coming from Ed. Why have you got?
Oh, he's got a talking thing, hasn't he? Yeah. Because of his eyesight, yeah. Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
Is that right? Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.